We're back, guys. We're here. We're not leaving. We're not fucking leaving. We're going to talk to you about some stuff tonight. Constitutional carry and what's happening with gun control. We'll see if we get that. All right. There we go, guys. We're here. And I'm not here. Everybody here but me. You know? All right, got somebody. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Did you see and hear anything?
Nope.
Come on. Huh?
No intro.
Yeah, it was no intro. And I don't know what happened. It froze on my end. So we apologize for that, guys.
Yeah,
I don't know
you don't want to hear it, but I'm gonna tell you Mercury's retrograding, but you ain't into that.
No, I'm not into all that.
Don't tell me that mumbo jumbo.
That you probably believe in Aquarius and all that other bullshit.
No. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Weird how things work. I just paid
That
attention.
that was very weird. I saw it come up after. Yeah, but it was black. We had like 15 seconds of black on the air. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, and then we usually have a whole show of black on there between the two of
us. No, we have a whole show of blackness, not black. It's a difference. Blackness, not black. But some people don't call us black. Some people call us Uncle Tom's, Coons, sellouts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you know, when you look at it, Uncle Tom, read the book again. Uncle Tom was a hero.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
When we was going through that back in the day, I used to tell him, you obviously didn't read the book. You just followed what somebody else tried to do. Somebody else told you.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you get called more. I'm saying for going for WK. Thank you for watching the show. Mm-hmm. Thanks for support. Before you get called out from Uncle Tom, sellout, coon, cracker, from black people more than any other race. White people don't even do that. Yeah.
Well, they can't call you a coon or Uncle Tom because you're not selling them out. But
right.
I put it this way. I have been called those names more than I've been called the N-word from somebody else. And when I say N-word, I'm spelling it INWARD. I call it, that's why I say N-words.
Right.
I've never been, when you start adding them up, it doesn't factor.
Right.
And it's because I don't, you know what? The funny thing is, just because I don't agree with everything they say, I got to be that. I got to be all that. Or if you take a difference of opinion and use facts, then you got to be that. We should do a show with that. I mean, it's a little bit off our beaten path, but we got a lot of experience with that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not that Hotep brother. If that's what you're looking for, it is not me. I'm not going to sit up here and black power this and black power that and the white man this, and I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's understandable, but you think about this. There's been some incidents in the recent past, say within the last 7 to 5 years, and when you look at the details of the case, people make they say one thing, right? Because that's what the press has told them, and they never look into it for themselves. And then when you show them factual data, or you go to what I do is I go to the court case and get the actual transcript from the court. They call it something else, the litigation and all the paperwork from that, and show them what evidence was presented and how it really went down, and they shut the fuck up.
Don't even issue an apology for being wrong.
Because nope, they just shut up because I didn't know that. I didn't know that is what they get it, like, because they've been deceived And they didn't take the effort to go forward, because anytime I get on something and I get the emotions start bubbling up, I go research it. If the emotions are supposed to get bubbled up, then you keep going. If you find out otherwise, then you back down and just leave it alone. Or like what you just said, you apologize to the person. My bad.
Yeah.
We've had it many times. We go back and forth, and then the next day, there's things that I find that you say, I go and find looking for. I don't even say nothing to you, because I'm like, yeah, he's right. All right, you got it. Because I'm like, and WK, he another one. From the first year or two, he'd give me the business, and I'm looking some of this stuff. I'm okay. Yeah.
Right.
You can't argue when it's facts. You argue with opinion,
right?
But you can't argue the facts, and that's the problem. I mean, we're driving away from the topic of the night, but we got
monologue.
Too.
Yeah,
but the thing is, we got to have an understanding and realize that not only can two people be right at the same time, but I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to agree with you.
Right.
When I wake up in the morning and I take a shower, some people don't do that. Am I going to force it on you? Oh, you're dirty. No.
Man, there's some people only take one shower a day, and that's at night. That's it. And I know
some people take one shower a week.
Yeah, there's some women that do that. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Nasty.
But you see, that's their opinion. That's what they want to do. That's what they do in the house. You may. I know you definitely know this because you were in the Army. I've been in different camps, whether it was for lacrosse or football, and we go away and you're there practicing, and I watch some of these guys, and some of all races don't use lotion, don't use deodorant. When they finish, you put deodorant on in the middle of the day after you started sweating. But they've been doing that all their life. That's the way
all their life. That's the way they were raised. They were raised like Neanderthal.
Exactly. Yeah. And that
and that's exactly man. What happened. Yeah, I mean their family was sharecroppers, and they didn't understand.
Some of them come from the Appalachian Mountains.
They didn't understand what being clean, And I even had a soldier in the Army like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So didn't want to wash his ass, So we remedied that real quick.
And P. Jones got right on there with you.
What's that? Okay, P. Jones, wash y'all ass.
Exactly.
Dirty
mom. Smelly so.
Did I put it on air? I don't know. I clicked it.
Yeah, you did. I put it and you clicked it.
Okay, cool. And so before we go any farther, I'll just go into the channels while we're having a little open and talk there. And we're on Twitter. No, we're not on Twitter. We're on Twitch. God damn it. We're on Twitch. I'm surprised we're still on Twitch. And we're on, I just saw the notifications come through on Rumble.
Yeah, that's what
so if you guys follow Rumble, you can get the notifications from Rumble when we go live. And they'll come up on your phone, tablet, or your desktop, whatever you got. And there's a pop up. You just click on it and it'll take you straight to the page. YouTube is a little bit different. It comes up a little late sometimes, or it do come up, and but you can click on that if you follow us on YouTube. What we do ask for YouTube and Rumble, please like and share, and all you gotta do, don't cost you anything. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
And let's go ahead and get into who supports this stream, and that's Saber Team Tactical. And there you go, Al.
Yep. Our partnership is still running. I spoke to a gentleman today, was out in training, and he was with USCCA. I'm going to start calling them out and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
He said that he kind of fell off and he hadn't renewed, and I told him, don't. I said, do the research, write to Bear. And I gave him some information, gave him some links, told him, after you look it up, use SABER and save for the entire year, your entire subscription for a year. You'll get, what's that, almost $60 off. What's that?
Yeah.
Dude, $24. $24 off.
Yeah, $24. Yeah.
Yep, 20, my bad. Yeah, and I think it comes out after that, it winds up being like $60.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. It's truly worth it. If you carry a gun every day and you are ready for the inevitable, then you need insurance. You need a protection plan. Because if you don't have a protection plan, at the lowest, and there's no bargain in this, But at the lowest that you were going to come out your
You
pocket,
might want to repeat it. Knocked us off the air for a couple seconds.
knocked you. I saw me.
Oh, you still there?
Yes,
Well, I
sir.
just had to put you back in the air.
Carrying the
Man.
flag. I was the flag bearer.
Oh, okay.
But you will pay up to 15 grand. 15 grand to keep yourself out of jail.
Oh, you're
And
talking about
after
legal
that,
fees? Yeah.
the legal fees. And
Yeah.
that doesn't guarantee that you win.
No,
That's just saying
that's for a cheap lawyer.
that's what I said at the very
Yeah.
least. And there's no
Yeah.
bargaining with that. There's
Right.
no, good, better, best. That's just it. You're paying for a guy that, may or may not know enough people, and that's the key. I know people don't like hearing that when I say it, but it's the key. You need a lawyer that's been around.
He's got to know. He's got to know district attorney. He's got to know judges.
Yep.
Got to be able to,
Yep.
yeah.
And he's
talk
been
to them.
around, and he can work the system because
Or girl, you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Might be a woman too. So
I said lawyer. I don't
Yeah,
think I put
yeah, you said
I don't
guy.
Put gender on it.
Yeah,
Guy is nowadays. You hear some of these young people talking.
Uh-uh.
They call girls dude. Yo, what's up, dude?
I don't listen to him.
See,
told
that's
you
your
that.
problem,
I told you
man.
that. I don't listen to him.
This guy.
I think
You
there's.
got to, man. You got to. The next generation, you got to pay attention to him a little bit.
Oh my God, dude, you're killing me.
We got to pass this on to them, and they got to get inspired to feel compassion and be passionate about the Second Amendment. So, but back to Right to Bear. Right to Bear, get it, pay attention to it, research it, and if you find something that you don't like about it, ask me. Ask Al. And bring it to our attention because we haven't found anything when you do a comparison across all the popular ones. There's some small ones. There was one that came out just recently, I heard, and it's a group of lawyers doing it. So their contention is that they're different from the other ones because everything else is insurance and they are just lawyers. Well, it may be true, but was it PSA is behind Right to Bear.
Yeah, and they're giving upfront money. I mean, the day you sign up, you have the protection.
There's
You
no
go out,
30-day binder. It's
No.
straight up. Yep.
you go out and beat somebody to death that night, you're covered. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a
Defending your
gun.
life. You got to say it in the right context. As long as you're defending yourself. And
yeah.
they'll cover you for the other thing too. If you just something happened, but I don't know. I've looked up some cases and I've not seen any cases that somebody was totally wrong that they defended. Not that. But if somebody aggresses you and you defend yourself, you're
Right.
good to go.
Yeah, you're not out committing a
So
crime.
I was told, this is another one, a little point for our Right to Bear. I was told that some of these other companies are dropping people because the people are being charged. So
Yeah, they
get
drop
involved
them
with
immediately.
shooting,
Yeah,
and they drop them.
yeah.
And they thought that when you're at your lowest, you don't have a support that you've been paying for.
This is how they do it. They drop you the day that you've been charged. They won't even represent you.
Yep.
So you go into the courtroom without representation. They don't bail you out.
Or
They
you're
don't-
scrambling to find somebody.
Yeah, they don't try to bond you. Nothing. It's just ridiculous. You're
It
done.
is.
So you've been paying all that money for maybe 5, 6, 7 years, and these dudes just abandon you. You stay in jail.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You've been convicted. You not convicted. You've been charged for aggravated assault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or worse.
Yeah. Or worse.
Or worse. So take a look at it. Again, if you use SABER, you will save money on it. It will help you out in the long run. And then, of course, we have our classes, and we'll go roll on the beautiful bean footage.
Yeah. Beautiful bean footage.
And that's private one-on-one classes. We do one-on-one classes. We got a claim to being the ones, especially in Georgia, started doing this one-on-one. When this thing started getting crazy and people weren't showing up, or you got 4 or 5 people who want to do a class and you're expecting 15, we broke it down and started doing small classes and one-on-one maybe 3 years ago. It was during what they call PANI, during the PANI. And we do one-on-ones. We make an assessment. We don't treat you like you're gonna learn the way we do it. We watch you. If you're consistent with it, we show you things that can make you a little faster and make you more efficient. If you are brand new, we break the guns down. We show you how the gun works, show you how to clean the gun, show you what parts need oil, what ammunition to use. We talk you through all that stuff. A lot of people come in and they think a bullet is a bullet. One bullet is for training, and the other bullet is for self-defense. Different styles. We tell you about bullet weights. We walk through all that stuff, and in your time, right? So we don't force you. We don't say, okay, we're going to do it this way. You need to learn. If you are an advanced shooter or an intermediate shooter, we will do drills and we will work on things that advanced person should be able to do. So whether it's just basic reloads or it's moving and shooting, using cover, what is cover and what's concealment, all those things we go through. So we work that out, and we'll get you up to speed. Any of these classes that you see here, that's any title, we can bring that out for you. If you want to work shotgun, we work shotgun. I think I only did two people last year with shotgun. And then we have the actual classes that we form, and those classes are sort of important more so than the other ones. The other ones are cool, you can learn a lot, and we'll give you all the details. But stopping the bleed is really important, and not only for gunshot wounds, but also for everyday triage. Anybody getting hurt, somebody falling down, somebody in a car accident, and you're the first person on the scene. You're in a car accident, and one of your family members is bleeding profusely. This can help you. All right, you have to know the right equipment. It tells you that. The first one's going to be coming up here soon.
Yeah, August.
Yep, July 14th.
Oh,
Comes before August. Just yeah, you had me thinking too. I said, rifle and PCC class, a good class. Learn to run your PCC, your rifle carbine like a pistol, and driving the rifle, putting that rifle in a position where you make accurate shots. I'm trying to give you like a little bit more than I normally do, because people don't realize the value of coming out and training. Because you can watch YouTube and you can say, yeah, I'm fast, or you can go strive to get a 1 second draw and shoot from 3 feet away, whatever the hell that thing is, and that's great. But when you analyze and you're starting to move and shoot, and you're doing it in a more dynamic way, you need somebody who has experience watching over your shoulder to tell you how to do it and tell you what you're doing wrong.
and to look at your bad habits,
Right,
and try to fix them, because
analyze it.
because you can have a bad habit and you don't know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of times when people do this, they YouTube them, they get the YouTube certification. What happens is they don't know they have bad habits. They're picking up. And some of these guys, some of these national guys, they put their information out on YouTube or any other medium for that matter, and they don't go into all the details, because that's when you're supposed to pay. There's a tidbit that they're giving you. They don't give you all the details, so they show you emulate it, and you think you're doing it. But yet, when it comes down to nitty gritty, whether you're playing one of the games or real life, you try to do that, and you're like, "What the hell?" There's a guy on YouTube now. He's real close to a target, and he's doing that drawing and shooting. Man, he comes so close to shooting himself.
Yeah.
Every time he draws the gun, and he's like right up here, and the target's there, and he's blowing it. The target, he's so close, the target's blowing every time. The gases are just pushing the target all over, and it's dynamic and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But when you really analyze it, and there's some people who got in the comments that were like, they weren't positive comments, but they were telling the truth. They were telling the truth, like, all right, yeah, you fast and you good, but where are those rounds going?
Yeah.
And one, you can see the angle of the shot is so severe. I'm hoping that it hit the target at least in front of him, not necessarily straight down. But
Right.
that's something that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We want to help. We have a passion for training, and we have skill and a lot of experience. So that PCC class is going to be a good one. Then we're going to scroll back up to the August one. Now this one is August. This is when we get to the nitty gritty. This one right here, conceal carry and stop the bleed medical class, right? That's what I was talking about. Learn to use a tourniquet. Learn to use Israeli gauze, a bandage, and why you need that. All the other things that you may need. Staying calm, working through the situation, and getting those skills that you need in order to stop the bleed. It's important. It's very important, and I can't stress it any more than that. You can't get this type of training for these prices anywhere. I'm being fair. At this point, it's like, let's just call it what it is. You go look at some of these other classes, especially some of these new folks. They're charging a lot more money because they think it, and there's nowhere near the experience. And I've seen it. I saw their videos. I see the highlights from it. It's not the same. It's not the same. So now we go back down.
I heard you. It's moving. It's a delay. There you go. I'm looking. I'm watching.
Stop the bleed medical battle class. That's coming up in September when the sun is starting to go down a little bit. It makes it a little cooler. That class is the one I'm talking about. Now is the nitty gritty because not only you have to triage people and figure out what the wound is and how to treat it, but you're also doing it under fire. And we're not shooting at you, but we're making it as chaotic as possible without getting anybody hurt or endangering anyone. That's a great class. We pop smoke, multiple people moving around, people you just met, people you were friends with for a long time. You start to realize this man, he talk a lot of junk, but he don't have a clue what he's doing. There's a class to show it because now guys that tell you, and we've seen it, guys that know this, know that, and then when you come out there, they got the tourniquet impacting wrong, they got the tourniquet facing the wrong direction, they don't know how to apply an Israeli bandage. This is what we do. We go over it multiple times before you actually get out there and actually have to do it. Then you have to move in a unit and work with one another. Verbal communication, watching for your partners, making sure everybody's in a good position so we can extract this person to safety. Good class. You can't do this anywhere. Many people, you can't go nowhere to get this. Unless you got some private land and you got people, GI Joes, the recent too, not guys, from the Vietnam era. There was a totally different skill set back then. They've modernized. So your uncle can't show you this in the living room. You have to come out here and experience it. There's no other way around. And I hear people tell me these things all the time. My uncle was this, my uncle was that. My uncle was a medic in this. Well, when was your uncle medic? Oh, he was in Korea.
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So things change and you have to come out and you get the experience of that. It's a great class. Really good. We love it. And then the end of the year, the coup d'etat. I think I was saying that wrong. Somebody told me that.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
Yeah, the creme of the creme. The creme. I'm not. Let me see. Maybe Israel can correct me. But the top dog, the class of the year, you have to be intermediate or better shooter. The meaning that you have to control and be able to maintain your rifle and your pistol by yourself. You can't look at us and say, "Hey, what's wrong with this?" You have to get right in there, slap, rack, bang, tap, 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 whatever you got to do to get it up, keep it moving. Marksmanship, not our problem. You need to know how to shoot. Not our problem. If you get, we've had guys that hey, where did I hit that?
Right.
I wasn't looking at that. I'm just making sure you don't point your gun at that guy. That's my job.
Right.
I'm not here for where that bullet went.
Right.
You need to know that. This is an upper level class. This is a class, a training that you need to know how to move and where you need to be at a specific time so that you can work within the group. You can't be, lollygagging, and you can't have, and we're not worried about where the rounds went, because you should know how to shoot by the time you get to this class.
Right.
That's as simple as that. I can't say it any other way.
Yeah.
Great class. Never had any complaints. We have people who whine because of one thing or another, but they all, even that guy, had a great time, learned a lot, but he just wanted to do certain things that he wasn't allowed to do. That's that.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah. And but it's a great class. All this stuff was done. Everything you guys learned in that class was done in real life. So it's no joke. And so you guys get the experience. Nobody's teaching that stuff, And if you guys like the movie Heat, this is Heat in real life. Yeah. Yep. So
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's as close as you can get without running down the middle of the street shooting at people.
Exactly. Or somebody shooting back at you.
That too.
And don't forget the last. We have something coming up on April 21st.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good one. I've been getting a lot of feedback on this one.
Okay.
The meet and greet, South River Gun Club, all-day affair, 10 to 5, 300 rounds, and we're going to blast until you can't blast no more. Good time. The last, we did 2 or 3 of these already? Always had a good time.
This is the third. No, it's the fourth one. Remember, you did one.
Yeah,
you did one. It's the fourth one. Yeah.
And it's a good time.
Right. April 21st, 10 to 5, 300 rounds. Bring 3 magazines, guys. And we're you gotta have a automatic, I said an automatic rifle. It should be a semi-automatic rifle.
I like that. I like the way you think.
But we're gonna shoot them like they're automatics. I'll correct that later on. And bring Bring your lunch. You're gonna be there all day. Don't come out there hungry because I'm not sharing my child with you.
Well,
And
on if it's a Sunday or Saturday.
that's a Sunday.
Okay, yeah,
Clubhouse will be open. I
they're
think you
open.
can buy some
Sometimes
snacks.
on Saturday, there's a guy there that grills. I forgot his name,
Yeah, if
but
they having
he
their event,
grills.
I have to
Yep,
look on the calendar and see if they're having something. Yeah, they do make some excellent hamburgers and stuff
yep.
over there. And so we're gonna be out there and pre-sign up. Don't just show up. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because
Yeah,
we'll
we
not
got to
be
count for
having that.
everybody.
Yeah. And let me see if I can go back. Yep, cool. And um we already got people signing up. We have a good time.
Hmm.
Uh hit on the laser engraving. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna be at on I do laser engraving work. I am doing so much stuff right now, trying to get ready for the show. I'm trying to post some pictures and stuff on my laser engraving site. If you guys got anything, I just picked up some more stuff, some private plaque, wedding plaque I got to do for a guy, and um, I'm doing a whole bunch of phone stands. I mean, I'm up to my butt in work right now. I'm working every day. I have to stop. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I know. But but where I'm gonna be at, let's see, I got it pulled up here.
is that the Miller place?
Yeah, Jim Miller Park, and I'm gonna be there. Let me see if I can find the tab. Got every other tab open. Jim Miller Park from here it is as the on the this 24th annual plant cell expo. It's called the Master Gardener Show. It's Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. Friday and Saturday. I mean, Friday and Saturday. My wife's yelling at me. Friday and Saturday.
That's the real producer.
Yeah, that's the real producer. Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's April 19th and 20th of this month at Jim Miller Park over here in Cobb Park, Cobb County, south of Callaway Road. It's an indoor. Well, it's not indoor. We got an overcover facility. So if it rains, don't even worry about it. You still be dry. It's free admission and free parking. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have over I forgot how many, over 90 different or 100 different vendors are gonna be out. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And so just come check it out if you're not doing anything in those days. And that's where I'll be at this month. And
That's gonna be a busy day for you, bro. A busy
oh
weekend.
yeah, because
On the 21st.
I'm doing that show on that weekend. I rented a van for that, and so I don't turn the van back into Monday. So you're gonna see me coming out there in a white van. Yeah, so on Sunday because I'm
How appropriate.
right,
Put
right.
a little sign on the sign that says ammo inside.
Right, jump in. And
Exactly.
so yeah, I got to do the show. We're gonna load up on Thursday, do the show Saturday, Sunday, unload Saturday night, Sunday morning. I'm getting up early to reload the van, then take off, and I'll be out there with you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a busy weekend for me. And but last week we talked about EDC knife carrying. And remember I said I was gonna post a picture of a toe sticker, the new ice pick. See that one at the top?
Yeah.
That's a custom ice pick. You know, the only reason I don't like it because see how slick it is. It has some blood grooves in the back, but it also has a hole in the back on the back end where you can put a lanyard on it. But it has you see the blood grooves at the top, and so this thing is I think it's over 6 inches long, and but it's pretty sturdy. It's they call it a ice pick. So for chopping ice, but you can use it for some other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy
And the other one,
Area 350 351, I don't know if you remember him. He used to make these and like that. It was almost like the ones you find in jail, but they were more decorative. Yeah, Shiv's what his name. Let me see.
now there's a company what's the name of that company? Oh, the name of the company is Mill Spec, and it's a veteran-owned company. I'll be buying some stuff from them all the time. Let me pull them up because I'm gonna turn you guys on to some stuff tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and um, let's see. Oh, Mill Spin. There's Mill Spin, and these guys. I'm gonna turn you on to these guys. I normally wouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it tonight. They make all types of stuff. They make Glock accessories, but they also make some. They don't give a damn. These are veterans, two Marine veterans from. I think they're Marine Corps reconnaissance unit, and I always buy from these guys because these guys are great. And but they sell paperweights, your nice paperweights. Then they also sell some EDC gear. So you got this right here. You know what I'm saying? And they can be used as ice picks. Same thing, aircraft aluminum. So it's actually pretty nice, and the price is not expensive. Now, here's a little caveat right now. You go to these guys' website, sign up, and as for the newsletter, and you will get every time they come up with a huge sale. And right now, they got a sale right now. It's called Gimme My Shit discount code, and you save 35% on anything you buy.
High number.
Yeah. And just put it in Gimme GIMMYSHIT, all in caps, and you save 35%. The last time they did, just for Christmas, they did a 50% off, and I ended up buying some stuff, some gear, and I ended up putting it in the bucket, putting that in there, and everything else I got was for free. So I got double the stuff for free. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So I ended up getting some paperweights, and I got one for each hand. I paid for one for free. You know what I'm saying? So
you're gonna keep a lot of paper down.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the to the website in the chat for you guys, just in case you guys want it, and I'll put the also the boom. I'll put the discount code in the chat too, and so you guys can have it. But it's some good stuff, man. Good stuff.
And there's something also. So you can't shoot everybody. You know, sometimes you're not always going to be able to draw your gun conventionally. So having something to go to back you up, you know, especially something that you can conceal in your pocket, and then just so happen, you know, you already got it on when SHI hit the fan. You know, so you're already there. And a lot of people don't recognize that, you know, with those we call them paperweights and other devices like that. You should be able to already outfit yourself or strap up, so to speak, and get ready. Should I say pause on that?
And they got some more stuff on there. Just check the website out. I mean, they got some pretty good stuff. They're veterans, like I said, and they help wounded warriors and stuff. So I help them out. And I'm always buying something from them. And there's some other stuff. I'm just waiting on a discount code. I'm probably gonna get some Glock back plates. They have some glass breakers you can put on your bottom of your Glock magazines.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like in your car, you can break your glass and get out with your gun. And I'm probably gonna, you know, just keep buying stuff from them. I mean, they make some pretty good stuff, and it's all handmade, and the prices, they're not bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. So let's get into tonight's subject here. And tonight's subject is states adopted constitutional carry. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, so you brought a lot of states. What we up to? You know the exact number.
I'm trying to get
to like 28 states with
Mm,
constitutional carry.
yeah, can you hear
Prior,
me? Oh,
yeah, are you good?
oh, okay. I turned your audio down. I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh my goodness, I can hear maybe because I'm hearing myself,
I
but
didn't hear a word you said.
with was it 28 states now, right? And somebody
Huh?
correct me if I'm wrong. 28 states with constitutional carry.
Yeah, 28 states of constitutional carry. Um, no, yeah, it was. Is it
Somewhere in that area. Let me see. I got it.
2023? It was 26th, and we had two other states that came online. That was it Mississippi and South
I think it was
Carolina?
South Carolina
Yeah.
and yeah,
So that's 28 states we have now. And
Louisiana, I believe it is.
oh, was it Louisiana?
Yeah.
And so the thing of it is, a lot of the naysayers were saying if you do constitutional carry, crime is going to go on an all-time high,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not what they've been seeing. Um, they've been seeing. I'm just going to read a statistic report right now. 83% of the states have paperless concealed carry and have homicide rates at or below national average. 45% of the states with no paperless concealed carry laws have homicide rates above the national average. That's 3 out of 5 of the safest 5 states in the United States have a paperless concealed carry. So, like for instance, California, Baltimore, Chicago, and they have a higher crime rate than the states that have constitutional carry. That's what they call constitutional carry, is the paperless concealed carry. So they don't call it constitutional carry. It's, as it says, paperless concealed carry, because that's what you're doing. You don't have to go down to your local government and tell them, I need a license to carry this firearm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it comes out pretty damn good. And some other states, you got something now? I like
I'm listening to you because
oh, okay.
I'm just going on making verifying.
Yeah. Now it was some other states we saw. What was that state we saw? Where they're using black armed citizens to patrol their area that was getting out of control. I can't remember the state.
Isn't that Detroit?
Was that Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the video now. I don't want to put it up because it's somebody else's. Yeah. So this is Hartford. And so what it ended up happening, it was a Second Amendment guy. He got all his community leaders and some of the clergymen, all the people who were into the Second Amendment, and then let them patrol their neighborhood. And this has been going on for maybe about a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mayor and the I think it was a police. Yeah, the police chief was against it at first, and come to find out, they were doing this for a whole year. They thought it was going to turn into something bad, awkward shootings and this mass people getting killed and being bullied around. Well, it ended up turning out to be different. Mm-hmm. Crime went down in the area. The citizens in the area became so much pleased that they were able to communicate with the guys patrolling, help them out, and they were able to stop crime even more further. These guys was walking around with full shotguns and rifles, man, and one on the hip, exposing it. I mean, they didn't try to hide it. You know what I'm saying? And but crime went down over a year, and the police department proved it. And so now they're expanding this, not from just that city, but to other communities in that area.
Well, the other cities picked it up. These guys didn't go to say, "Hey, look."
No, they're not doing it. Yeah,
right. The other cities that have issues, people are galvanizing and getting together and doing it. So, with what you were saying, the mayor, he came out and said, community was in pain and trauma. Right. That's what one of the guys said. And the mayor added that the city did not need people being trained to walk the streets with guns and trying to take the law into their own hands. And these guys weren't doing that. What they were doing was being aware. And it was so bad in this community that the police were slow to respond, and they probably overworked and all that good stuff. But these guys were there and taking care of business, right? And being armed just in case, not going in armed first. See, that was the difference with as I'm reading this article from Connecticut. These guys decided that they'll be armed, and if something should happen, they're ready. But they're not going looking for trouble. They're
They
not
still
kicking
call the
nobody's
police.
doors. Yep, they
Yeah.
still, and they want to work with the police.
They were like, what's the name of that group that was in New York with the berets?
Oh, the Green Beret?
No.
Guardian Angels.
Yeah, but these guys had guns. See, the Guardian Angel couldn't carry guns. Yeah.
The Guardian Angels, they did their thing basically with swarm technique. They'd have 15 dudes show up, when it was 2 guys,
Right.
or something like they and I remember them when I was living in New York at that time, being on the subway system, and they literally they walked the trains, and there would be like 12, 13 of them on one, what was that, 7-car train or 7-car 7-car train. And they said that the place where they started was a place called Garden Street up in Hartford, and they saw a large percentage of gun violence, right? And I hate when I say gun violence because violence is violence.
Yeah.
If those people weren't using guns, they'd be hitting each other with chains and bats or something else.
Yeah, knifing
so
people.
violence is violent. Violent people are going to be violent, and that's it. And then the fact that they're using a gun is just one way of being violent. February, a double homicide occurred, and that prompted the push for civilian armed patrols. And that the thing with the title, especially that we're dealing with, is what happened to all of the gun control, right?
Yeah.
And we can't take our eyes off the prize, or we can't take our eye off the enemy, or we can't take our eye off our adversaries, because what's happened a lot of times is these guys will do things that we don't know about. The 11th hour type things, or behind the backs, or the distraction technique. Right now, what's the dude's name? Puff Daddy is going through a whole lot of stuff. So every once in a while they'll broadcast that, and they put a big deal about that, and all the while something else is going on somewhere else.
Yeah, they're still trying to push gun control. It's not being died down just because we think it's died down. And one of the biggest thing they're trying to push through right now is the what they're trying to push, where you can't sell your gun in private sales anymore. You got to take your guns to a FFL and to sell them. So that's the biggest thing they're trying to push right now, and that's the huge push they're trying to get done this year. But things are not working out for them in the House and the Senate. So they're just going to wait for the next mass shooting and try it again. You know what I'm saying?
Be careful this summer.
Yeah, this summer is going to be hell, and it's already been several foil attempts of mass shootings, but these guys are, that's because of concealed carry. People have stopped a lot of people, and people are being more vigilant. When somebody says they're going to do something, they turn them in, and instead of just sitting back watching. You know what I'm saying? So, but they're going to use. They want gun control. They want our guns to be gone. And what the push that they said, they just don't want us to not be able to purchase firearms. They want the firearms that's out there in the streets to be gone. They want us to give them up. That's what's coming from the White House right now. They want everybody to get rid of your guns. And you got to think, why do you want us to get rid of our guns in the hour where we're on the brink of World War III, and we have the highest threat from the FBI that terrorists came over our border, our southern border, and we're subject to an imminent attack. We're subject to an imminent attack from the terrorist groups because of what's going on in Israel and support of Israel. So then we have a bunch of fruitcakes that want to go out and shoot up places. So why do you think we should give up our guns right now? You know what I'm saying? And it will be lambs to the slaughter. Everybody saw what happened in Russia when those 4 guys went in there and just shot up everybody. Those people they were slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? And none of them couldn't fight back. They didn't have any guns. And if that one or two people, you know, well, had a gun, could have probably fought them off. You know, but they had four shooters and 11 people that were involved. You know what I'm saying? Because those videotapes, those people were videotaping was a part of it too.
Hmm.
You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, they were a part of it.
They knew
Yeah.
exactly where those guys were going.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so you don't know who to shoot, but you just gotta have to take that chance when you're in a situation where you know you can't win.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but constitutional carry has made things a lot better in a lot of different states. Um, it's made it better, for instance, downtown Atlanta,
Yeah.
where people just
Well, see, you're gonna start that shit already. So, just to start back up, I'll hold myself.
I was gonna credit. I wasn't done, but go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
'cause
It's a reason. It's a reason behind that, though. It's a
29
reason.
states,
Huh?
29. South Carolina became the 29th state
Right.
to become quote unquote constitutional carry. So that's the permitless one, like as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always say, and I'm going to continue to say it, is that we have to separate ourselves from people who do dumb shit with guns. We have to. Every gun owner is not the same. We're not criminals. Every time you see gun violence, it's always based around some type of criminal intent.
Right.
Whether it's active shooter or Joker trying to rob the grocery store or something. So, but then those numbers get pushed in, and they say, "See, this is why we need to take guns away." Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? No decent citizen, no law-abiding citizen robbed anybody. No law-abiding citizen did this or any crime. You know, just because you're charged with a crime when you're defending your house doesn't make you a criminal, right? And listen what I mean by that. It's like they can charge you with a crime because you didn't cooperate with them. And now this overzealous officer or detective decides to charge you anyway. Then later on you come to find out that you get exonerated in court because you defended and you did everything right.
Yeah.
Just because you just got charged, yeah, you're technically crime. But think about that. We're not the same as a guy that does a carjacking or a guy that does a street robbery or armed street robbery. We're not the same. But yet, those stats, whenever you look at the stats, they always show how many people got shot doing this, how many people got shot. Suicide people.
Yeah.
People kill themselves with guns. Why those stats match up to why we can't have guns? What does that have to do with me?
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. What those
Because
stats
they
school
use
stats.
that magical word that you
Yep.
used in the beginning, gun violence.
Gun violence. Yep.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the law-abiding citizen. You and I both say this all the time. And one of the things that we talked one time, and it was like, oh wow, we're preaching to the choir. You got to get violent. You got to get angry. You got to get mean.
Yeah.
You got to get rough. You got to get hateful. You're the way you sum it up. You got to get hateful. That's the difference. We don't walk around hateful. We don't use the hateful to on the offense. We're
Right.
defensive. But every time you see it, every time you listen to any politician talk, they're talking about getting rid of guns because of this happening. But we haven't done that.
Yeah,
Most
because
the
of
guys
gun
that you and I
violence.
I was
Yeah.
out the range today. I watched and spoke to a number of people. These guys are out enjoying shooting,
Right.
taking a bullet and hitting a
It is a sport.
It's sporting.
It is a sport.
Yep, hunters, and I'm real leery about adding them in because I know they don't give a damn about. Most of them don't care about concealed carry or Second Amendment.
They don't even care about Second Amendment laws. Most of them, majority of them.
Yep. And a
Yeah.
lot of them will tell you, if I don't carry a gun, so
Right.
if they want to take them away, let them take them away. And these
Right.
guys that live in red states,
Mm-hmm.
they talk like that, and that's why we pushed him to the back. And no, you don't want to talk to him. Leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
But on that same note that you were saying, a lot of these things that I'm looking at right now, a lot of stuff I saw last week when we were talking about this topic, is the media is pushing the NRA back into the fold. The NRA was probably in constitutional carry. Yeah, I'm sure they advocated for it, but they were maybe second or third string.
Yeah, they didn't support constitutional carry
Basically,
at all.
some of these things are saying that. They
Yeah.
said
They did not support it. They didn't even help push it in the areas. It was local Second Amendment groups and the people who pushed this thing. They didn't even have their hands in it. Now it's in one over 28 states. Then now they're saying, "Oh, uh, uh, we're for your Second Amendment rights." These dudes, they be calling me every day. I'd be like, they're using different numbers. So when they come up on my phone, I'm just like, instead of saying NRA, it says some other group, and I pick it up. Hi, I'm calling from the NRA. I'm good. Hang up.
You know what they did? They what's that called? They contracted it out. I was gonna say something. They contracted it out. So I had a question about my membership one time, and I asked the lady, and she gave me another number. And then I'm listening to it, and she finally said, "Oh no, we're not. We're just a
outside source,
people telemarketing group." And it wasn't.
That's what it is.
So they get paid to solicit for the NRA. And it was NRA employees. Because I was like, "Can you transfer me to this?" And she was like, "No." And then when it came out, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, third party." So this is what I was talking about. Look at this. This is on their website. You can see it up here.
They're trying to act like they're supporting constitutional carry.
And it says they achieve a milestone as 25 states recognize constitutional carry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I don't remember that. I mean, I'm sure in the politics and lobbying, they're
but that's funny. On their website, they got 25. They haven't even updated it.
Right, exactly.
It's like, what the hell? But they're trying to say we achieved them. You guys didn't do jack. I put my money on other organizations. That's why I was donating to. Every time I buy something from PSA, I donate. You know what I'm saying?
But you know something else too. The ILA, which is part of the NRA, and they kind of wanted to distinguish themselves early on, especially when LaPierre was going through all that stuff. They were trying to let it be known they were still active, and it wasn't the same. And I don't know if they really made a distinction to show that they were separate, but the ILA was continuing to bring in legislation and push. I don't know about constitutional carry, but push gun rights, so to speak. And I was during that time I kept looking at them more so than all the other big mouths.
Yeah. I mean, even the NRA Congress people didn't even support constitutional carry. The majority of them, especially on the national level, and that's what everybody wanted it on a national level.
Right.
So what it ended up happening, everybody was asking for this on the national level 10 years ago. We want constitutional carry on the national level. We want reciprocity on the national level. And none of the senators or the House members was like, nah, we're not even putting that on the floor. We're not even talking about it, Right. So that's why the states had to come up and adopt their own laws for constitutional carry. And then they had to adopt their own laws for reciprocity for each other that have constitutional laws. So they had to do it on their own, because everybody else is fighting it. Like I said, you got liberal states, blue states sitting up there saying, no, we don't want constitutional carry. Chicago is begging for constitutional carry. You know what I'm saying?
Citizens are. The
citizens are. And the citizens
they want to defend themselves.
Yeah, and right now the citizens, I've saw some things where citizens are actually breaking the law to defend themselves because they know if they get caught, they're going to lose their gun rights. They know it, but they're like, I really don't care at this point.
You lose your rights and lose your life. Which one?
Yeah. So it's crazy, and people are doing the same thing in California. They're carrying illegally. You know what I'm saying? And so
New York too.
Yeah, New York too.
Remember that guy? Maybe a year or two ago. He was talking about an arsenal. This dude had bolt action rifles.
Yeah,
we were talking about he had an arsenal.
He had five guns,
and he was doing. He said he was modifying guns. Literally, he was modifying guns, but he was modifying long guns for guys that were hunters and shooters.
Yeah, he's putting scopes and stuff on them.
Right. But see that's when you got to look past the headline to find out what actually happened.
Well, you got to look at police freak out when they find an inert rocket launcher tube.
Oh yeah.
And they posted on, oh yeah, I found a rocket launcher. Let me see the inside of that baby. You know what I'm saying? Why is the sights out on it? You know what I'm saying? I know what it was. You can buy those damn things at the surplus store and bring them
Yeah,
home.
Omar and them sell it. I've seen one of them
Yeah,
in there. Right.
yeah, you can take them home. They're collector's pieces.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
And that, the crazy thing is, you're saying that, right? But the law enforcement also freaks out when acorns hit the top of their own.
oh yeah, and reload, and shoot. You know, wasn't charged. You know, he ended up quitting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
probably-
Well, it's the
he probably
funny part
caught
about
someone
it, you
else.
had the woman and him were both shooting in the car, and
She
they're
started shooting because he was shooting.
right, but they was crossfiring each other.
No,
You know
he
what
had
I'm
an L. He had an L.
Oh, he had an L?
He was at the end of the car, and she was aside.
Oh,
She
okay.
was the one that went to talk to the victim who
Right.
reported the car stolen. Old boy, who was the so-called suspect, standing
Mm-hmm.
across the street, Nimrod, the officer, he went to talk to that guy, handcuffs him, puts him in the car when they identify him.
Searches him twice.
And as he's walking past his own car, he hears cup. And
That's-
then he decides, drop rolls, pull, fire,
And you know what
reloading.
brought that on?
I'm hit.
You know that was his apartment they were at.
Who,
That
the
was
guy?
his
The
apartment. That was
suspect?
that was his apartment that his girlfriend came to
Oh,
confront him, and that's he didn't approach her. He stood in the street, and she
Right.
sat up there and told that he had an SBR with a can. That's what she escalated it, and so that's why the female police officer was like, search him, you know, and he's like,
Right.
what are you searching me for? You know what I'm saying? And then they searched him. He said, I ain't got nothing on me. What's wrong with you? So then they took him back. Then they searched him again because they thought he had an SBR can
In the
on
case.
him. And this is why I'm telling you guys, do not tell your girlfriends, your wives, what you got. Because if something happened, get bad, they're going to escalate it and turn it into a deadly situation because they want you to go to jail.
They're gonna hurt you.
Women
Make sure
are their
that it's legit. If you
worst
speak about it,
worst enemy is a woman, a mad, angry woman. They will
Scorn.
burn down their own home in order to get back at you. Be careful with that, guys. You know what I'm saying? So don't be showing none of them that stuff. It's none of their business. They will tell on you. And she told on him what's escalated that. And now that jumpy cop, he was so stupid. He thought the guy handcuffed in the back of a squad car shot at him with a can.
right,
And he searched him twice. Come on, man.
right.
Get out of here.
Well, he might have had it in his ass cheeks, man. You know.
A whole 6-inch can on an SBR
Hey,
of his ass cheeks.
He might be deep.
Yeah, right.
He might be a deep brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, she and his girlfriend was trespassing. You know what I'm saying? He had nothing to do with it. He was shouldn't even, and it was no reason for them to even lock him up. He didn't even do anything. You know what I'm saying? So,
Bro, have you seen what's happening in Colorado?
no
They
clue.
are, according to ILA, they extreme gun controls on the move and take action now. And they're saying that they're asking for citizens to reach out to their politicians and vote no against these particular bills in Colorado. But one of them in particular is literally going after semi-automatic guns. Semi-automatic ban, and they want liability insurance for everybody. That's why it's a good thing now. Get right to bear.
Yeah,
But
and
before they make you have to get it, because there's going to be some concessions down the road, and we're not going to even have a say so in those concessions. They're going to start mandating. They already in certain states they're making it so you have to lock a gun up if it's not on your person
right.
and unload it. What's the purpose of that? What's the purpose
Right.
of having a gun in a
It's
lockbox that's unloaded?
And no. Let's go farther, Al. You got to have a lock on the gun in a lockbox. Yeah, so you got to get the lockbox open. Then you got to take the lock off the gun that's unloaded, and the ammunition is not even going to be in the same box.
Right, and that goes back to that clown crap that we saw, and I'm telling you, I can go back and think about it, and I tell you, the first time I saw that gun with the it's supposed to have a ring that you wear, and it's supposed to identify you as the owner of the gun, and it unlocks itself so that you can use it. And I'm telling you, it's been faulty.
Open by DNA.
Yeah, no, it's an electronic ring that you wear.
Oh, that's so stupid.
And then when you draw your gun, apparently this ring connects somewhere on the grip, and when you draw the gun, it says, okay, this is the
Oh
only.
yeah, it turns it into a smart gun. Yeah, the
Smart
gun
gun.
manufacturer said no because there's no way they
It's
can do
not. It's
that.
faulty. It's been faulty
Yeah,
for damn near 20 years now.
yeah,
They've never gotten it to work right. There's another one where people are trying to get what you were saying, like a DNA. So that means I got to give a sample of
yes.
my DNA so that you can put it in the gun so the gun can recognize me
Oh,
without my
they
DNA.
want to go any further. They want to even have every bullet have a registration number on it.
See?
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you'll have each of your bullets to be registered to you. You know
Mandatory
what I'm saying?
storage. That's what it is.
Not the not
Mandatory storage.
well. I think
Go
the
ahead.
bullets and the casings. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
There's a way, and it's been a while, that
Not much. Hmm?
you could figure out the lot number for certain bullets. They have like um, it's some not a registration, but it's some way that they've kept the lot numbers. But you have to catch it before the bullet is fired. It's something like some little weirdo thing, which is
Hmm.
pretty much worthless. But if somebody say with the intent of something and they get caught up and the feds are able to get the box of ammo that he had, you can look that up to see where it came from. I think it's good in cases of like intent and the planning of it, but as far as registering a bullet, and then they're gonna have to have a marking on it. They're gonna have some kind of identification to determine that this bullet is not the same as that bullet. Yeah, okay, that sounds great.
Yeah. Yes.
At that
And
time, at that point, we're all gonna be rationed out, 12 bullets a piece,
yeah. And then there'd be $20 a bullet.
at least.
Yeah. So
At
no
least.
training, no shooting sports.
No.
They shoot big, got deep pockets. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way it's gonna
Exactly.
happen. You know.
Mhm.
And if you and but see, they haven't even figured out how the reloaders, how are they going to tackle those guys? Well, how you do it, you'll probably have to have a FFL even reload privately.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the only way they can do it
It's
because
gonna
then
get
you
to
can
that point,
register
yeah.
it. Yeah, register your bullets as you're doing, or either that, just getting rid of reloaders altogether. You no longer can reload. You got to buy from a government sanctioned facility. You know what
And
I'm saying?
don't think that's out of the question.
Yeah, especially with this new generation, this weak generation we got.
Yeah,
They're gonna.
and see, that's why you got to talk to them. Just go all the way back to the beginning of the
I
damn
want to
show. That's
slap
why.
them. Tell you the
See,
truth.
you can't.
Oh,
You got to
I
bring them
don't
into
tell me
the
what I
fold,
can't
man.
do.
You
Don't tell me what
can,
I
but you
can't do.
shouldn't. How about this? You shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'll say you shouldn't. I'll say it that way. You shouldn't, because
right.
we gotta encourage the next generation and bring them into the fold. WK, this is for you too, because you're out there. You go to ranges, you go to matches. Just say hi to the dude. Start it off that way. Just say hi. Just start off with a hi.
I like that. Just say hi to
Just
the
say
dude.
hi,
We're in
man.
Atlanta. We got to be careful.
Oh
of
no, not to all the dudes. Just the gun carrying ones. Oh shit, they carry guns too. The ones that are interested. No, they never. Just keep it to yourself, bro. Keep it to
Yeah.
yourself.
So you can't say yeah. You got to let them approach you talking about the subject
Right.
instead of approaching them talking about the subject. So
I
don't
mean,
get.
and when I say younger, bro, we some of these 30-year-old guys are weak too.
Yeah.
And you just can't blame it on the 15 to 20 to 15 to 28. There's some of the 30-year-old guys need to be, you just shake them off and wake them up again, because they're not aware of what's going on. And that's what
Yeah.
a lot of times when I talk to these young guys is more than just shooting. You like to
Right.
go out and shoot, you like to read or watch videos and all that stuff about firearms. That's great. But you have to stay and pay attention to what's going on in reference to the rights.
A lot of males have forgot what it is to be masculine, a masculine man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them,
Some never knew.
they never knew, and they had no role models. I mean, you got to look at all the hardcore guys from the 70s and 80s. All those guys are old men now, and they shared their wisdom on, but you have an overflux of single parent household now.
Yeah.
And these guys are being raised by single parents, and they lose their masculinity. They end up acting out with aggression and anger, and instead of holding it in and all the other good stuff. Prime example: look at the guys that came back from World War II, and none of those guys came back and did anything superiorly violent, in the hard record number, and they could have. They suppressed everything they did over in World War II. Look at the guys that came back from Korea. They suppressed everything they did when they came back. Look at the guys who went to Vietnam. A lot of them couldn't suppress it, but a majority of them did suppress it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And now we have the society today, they can't suppress anything. You know, they just act out. You know, it's like, and it's like it's too much for them. You know what I'm saying? And so, and everybody wants to be on drugs. You know what I'm saying? They self medicated. To go
That's the
see
part. That's the part right there.
a
You know,
psychiatrist, and they're
the
gonna deal
overuse.
with you.
Well, that that is what they should be doing, and that's what you were talking about with the that World War World War II generation. You know,
Yeah.
those guys came back, and as you said there a lot of them did suppress it, but remember, we used to say shell shock back then,
Yes, we did. We didn't say
right?
PTSD.
It was
Yeah, I'm
PTSD. It
not
was
getting
shell
on
shock.
veterans and stuff. So
Oh no, me neither.
yeah,
No, I'm
you
just
you
saying
cocksuckers
that
don't come at me with that shit because I'm a
right.
veteran too. You son of a bitches.
That
You know
wasn't
what
the
I'm
case.
saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying, but those guys, you knew they were different. You know what I
Right.
mean? Grandpas and uncles that were older, and you saw those guys. They stayed to themselves, and like you said, they suppressed it. And there was a few that lashed out. The guy
I,
that what's my man's name? Wasn't he a veteran?
who?
Martin Luther King's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So some of them were used in certain ways and given opportunities or whatever, and
But
they
I'm
had
just saying we
right
had the
the
last
majority. Yep.
the last of the hard stoic masculine men
Hmm.
died out somewhere in between the 80s and the 90s. And we got
Yeah, and
this
I would
new
say another
yeah.
thing too, what you mentioned, just to piggyback off that, I think a lot of times men that you can look up to and aspire to, like heroic men, and I'm not talking about TV stars or actors who make believe that they're tough guys, but real men like you're mentioning that in our communities we don't see them anymore. A lot of them, whether in the '90s and the '80s,
Dude,
they
we don't even have any
took
pimps
advantage of the
in the neighborhood.
street.
We don't even have the pimps in the neighborhood
That's
anymore.
see, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
They took advantage of the street,
Yeah. The
and you don't see
pimp
that
was the
anymore.
most masculine dude you ever saw. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
he wore high heels and a fur coat, but yeah,
Yeah, he had that
he
pimp
probably had
hand was strong.
probably had nail polish on, 3 coats of nail polish, or the most expensive nail polish out
If
there.
you ever talked to them dudes, they taught you a life lesson though.
Oh, they
I'll
knew,
tell you.
bro. And
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
had plenty of conversations with dudes that were pimps, and it was like, wow, And this is while I'm a cop, and one dude he didn't know I was off duty, and we talked for hours, bro. When he found out, he saw me the next day, and I was working. He's like, "There's no way." I said, he said,
Yeah,
"You
he
stole."
talked to a cop.
He said, "You stole that?" I said, "No," because I was real, and he couldn't understand. He just really did not understand. He
He
thought
was
that
talking
cops
to
were
a
one
cop.
way. He thought
Yeah.
right, and the night that I was talking to him, we were hanging out. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I kept wanting to tell him. I knew he didn't understand. I knew he didn't know. And I was in my own vehicle and wasn't driving a cop car. Nothing about me, but we talk all kind of shit. I mean,
Hmm.
up, down, right, left, right, like you said. He's dropped some gems.
Right.
And the next day he saw me, and we were still cool. We were still cool. But he was just like, "Oh, where'd you get that from?" And I'm like, he said, "That's real." And I mean, it's a full official uniform, but he just
Yeah, you
could not.
badge, gun,
Nah, he
everything.
could not. He was like, "There's no way, no
Yeah,
way."
he couldn't
But
handle it.
the thing is, people can understand you if you listen to
Hmm.
them, right? And don't judge or turn your nose up immediately when you find out that this is he's a street roller. He's been a
Right.
street roller all his life.
Right.
Everything his brother. When he started dropping names, I heard all these dudes are suspects, big
And but
time drug
see,
dealers in Washington
so
D.C.
let's go back. Let's
Hmm.
go back. Well, let me say what WK say. He don't deal with woke newbies. I don't deal with them either. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But the thing of it is, the dudes we grew up with, they were scrappers. You know this. These dudes will get down there brawl. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And cats nowadays, they won't do that.
Mhm.
You know, they'll get on the internet, talk smack. When they got to meet in person, they pulling out this big old gun. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Instead of getting down scrap, you
Right.
see the women fighting more than the dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So on that same note that you just mentioned, that's another thing too, because one of the things that I in my past advocacy, I would tell the school boards all the time that they needed peer mediation, right, and teaching kids how to mediate their problems. never listen to me, never listen. And now I hear it in the streets more and more, even
Now
from
they're
people
saying it.
who, right, because it's been needed for the longest time. They did the DARE program, they did the GREAT program,
Scared straight.
Scared Straight, and I kept saying you need to teach these kids in the district that I was working in how to mediate problems, right? How to negotiate around fighting. You don't have to fight, and now I see, especially in the black community, where it's like nobody could throw their hands, nobody could fight. Why they have to? Why they have to let it go? Most of these dudes are
Right.
fighting over some he said, she said words.
Words.
And then
Words.
and then the biggest thing in high schools, we always used to hear they fighting over a girl.
Yeah.
You don't own her.
Yeah.
She don't want you. She don't want you.
And
now
a
you're
bust-
gonna have a fight with the dude that she does want to hang out
And a
with.
busted down girl at that.
More than likely, exactly. But the thing is, you hear on the street all the time that they can't throw hands. They gotta go get a gun. Well,
Right.
think about technology. Technology is supposed to make life easier, right? When these guys go get guns, they're absolutely solving the problem because they're killing the motherfucker. They take another person out completely. So this problem solved.
Until the guys get caught and he's end up in the system.
See, that's the point. But
Then that's the problem.
between A and B, that problem's over.
And seeing and
He's
how then you got to look at. I was just watching a police video the other day. It was here in Atlanta. Cops pull over a car. 4 guys in it. They're all teenagers. Oh, are they all teen? No, 3 adults, 1 teenager. He's 17. They're in there, and as soon as the cop come up on them, one gets out, start to fight them and run. And so they get them all out. Go through the car. They find 4 guns in that car. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out, the dude they had just got through doing a drive-by shooting and killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then you think of yourself, where to get the guns? Well, they stealing them off the street. And seeing they using these kids as counting as statistics for the gun control.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I keep saying. I'm going to keep saying it. We have to distinguish between them and us. The fact that somebody uses a gun in a crime should not be a strike against.
Doesn't justify an average law-abiding citizen.
Nope, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But yet, every time we turn around, that's what we hear. The first thing we hear is gun violence, gun violence, gun violence. It has nothing to do with me. Nothing.
Because they don't say that when the drunk driver. Matter of fact, this football player who just did that accident in what was it, California? He left the scene. They didn't say they didn't say car violence, did they?
Right.
They said it was him.
Drunk violence.
Yeah. They said it was him driving that vehicle, and we're gonna hold you accountable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the way it should be. That's the way. So the same thing, like you remember in Florida, that lady, it was a few years ago. A lot of folks that I know said that black people do not get stand your ground rules. It doesn't work for black people. And I'm like, why do you say that? So they told me this case about this lady, and I already knew about it, but the lady was in a domestic situation. The husband and her was separated. The husband was actually providing the apartment that she was staying in. She comes to the house for whatever reason. They get into an argument again. She leaves, then she realizes her keys were left in the house. So she goes in the glove box of her car and she gets a snub nose 38, goes back in the house to retrieve her keys. When she goes back in the house, they get into more argument for whatever. He said, no, get out. You don't get nothing. 2 or 3 boys were with his children. They're all standing on one side. She fires the gun in the air. She gets, long and short, she gets 10 years in jail. The judge said, and this is why she didn't get stand your ground. You left a hostile area.
And came back.
And you came back to a hostile area.
Right.
She contended that she was abused by the husband in the past. Why would you go back in there? She said she had to get the keys. No, you could have called the police, and the police could have retrieved your keys. You know it's a hot situation. Why go back in there? So that's not the same as somebody standing their ground. It's not.
That is not standing your ground.
If you blindly leave out the fact that she left and went back, and you want to say that she's been treated unfairly, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, he had more stand your ground than she did.
Right, but the thing was, there was only one gun, and it was hers, and he did not know that she had the gun. Again, go to the court testimony and read it. He didn't. He testified he did not know she had a gun.
Right.
She got the gun when she got out of the house, so for protection. Because I'm sure homeboy was probably harassing her. He got the apartment for her, so he probably figured he can come over when he wanted to, and we gonna work it out one way or another. And she said,
But it was
nah.
his apartment. He was paying for it. His name was on
He
the
was
lease.
paying for it, but I think it was her place. He was paying for it. All it said was he was paying. He was providing the funding for it.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they basically, I don't think he wanted to be separated, and I think when he came back, when she came back to the house, because otherwise, why would you let somebody that you got a not rigid attachment, the other one, stay away order on come in your house?
Restraining order.
See,
Yeah.
when you read it, it's like, wait a minute, why did he let her in? Then
Oh, he had a restraining order on her.
on her, but he let her in. He let her in the house. Everything was cool for a little while, and then all of a sudden it didn't.
He could have lost
wasn't
his
cool.
life.
He was trying to get back to some of that good old fashioned.
Yeah, he's
she
trying to
said
get
no.
he wanted some oatmeal.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
she probably said no, and then he was like, "Get out."
Yeah.
And just to be fair, yes, she made mistakes, but also he was just as bad. Problem is,
Yeah.
the judge said that she endangered her children and that man for firing a gun in the inside the house, and she tried to explain it away. And a lawyer even said a warning shot.
There's no
That's
such
it.
thing as a warning shot.
Exactly. That's your first
Yeah.
miss. That's
There's
an
no-
intentional miss, if you ask me.
Yeah. There's
And
no
like-
such thing.
Yeah. So that was their defense. Part of the defense was
And she had no reason to even have the gun for a situation that was. She escalated the whole scenario.
having had the opportunity to get out of the house.
Yeah, she could have drove off. Could have
No,
drove
she
off.
didn't have the keys. She didn't have the keys to the car, but she could
Coulda
have called
walked
the police. Yeah, she
and
could
get
call
the
a
keys.
Uber.
She could have got the keys. She could have called the police and say, "Hey, I want my keys."
Right.
Yeah.
At that point, in those type of situations, the titty tat, at that point, she gets a tat because now she can call the police and say he's holding my keys in there. Because that's how they
Right.
play the game. They play the stupid game
Yeah.
of calling the police to be the big brother or the mama figure.
She could have
that's gonna
became the
justify
victim
it.
at that point.
She could have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of became the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. That was some good stuff there, guys.
Yeah,
and
man.
want to say thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you guys for supporting the show. Like and share the show. We're on YouTube and Rumble. YouTube and Rumble. You guys, if you guys see this show for the first time on YouTube, you see this show for the first time on Rumble, subscribe to the show on YouTube so you can see more of these shows. And we got a whole bunch of videos up here too. On Rumble, subscribe to the show, the 2 Alpha Talk. We have our own channel. Subscribe to that channel so you can find out when we go live on Rumble and also when we go live on YouTube. If you guys want to talk about anything, ask the questions after the show, and we'll talk about something. If you want us to talk about it, touch that instance. If you want to come on the show for to be a call in or a guest, let us know. And we can also do that if you got a subject you want to talk about, you feel passionate about, and it's about the Second Amendment. Remember that. We ain't talking about tennis shoes or baseball bats. And so April 21st, don't forget, if we have a meet and greet, rifles only, 300 rounds, $30 is the cost. It's going to be from 10 to 5. And we're going to do a lot of shooting. Got some scenarios all picked out, and I got them already made up. I just got to finish doing the round counts. And we'll have a blast. You got anything, Al?
Protect the Second Amendment. Bring somebody to the range.
That's it.
And speak to the next generation, no matter whether you like it or not.
He's not going to let that go. All right, guys. See you on the range.
On the range.